What is going on, guys? Just got out of work. Figured I might as well, I still got a little bit of time, clean up, start to do the dissecting, get the wall bro installed, get it all ready so that way in the next video we'll drop the tank. I didn't really take a good look at this whenever I pulled it out of the tank, but I noticed that it has already been changed before, which is weird, but it's OEM Nissan. It has the old logo on it. The boot is really old. Kind of a hack job of wiring, but I'll be installing the Walbro 255 high pressure fuel pump upgrade, and comes with a little kit with everything in here. So I normally don't I don't record at all, but I normally don't. You know, when I clean, I usually just clean, but I figured it'd be a good time to clean, talk about the car, the whole project and everything like that, and where it's going, and basically also show the dissecting, how to install the new Walbro and clean it up. And so figured I'd start like that. Still getting used to talking to the camera. I'm not really used to it or a fan of talking to the camera, but I can get used to it. I guess I can ramble on a little bit, but basically the only tools I got is some zip ties, some brushes to wash off a lot of this rust that was on it. I almost debated on just getting a whole new sender. I cleaned the whole top earlier, not on camera, somewhat. Couldn't really get in there, but started cleaning off, so I was like, I think I can make it work. I got some diagonal cutters, flathead to take off the clamps. One reason why I noticed also that this has already been changed, that, and not only that, but also the zip ties and the hack job of the wiring. So got a needle nose to help, soldering iron, heat shrink, some solder. I'm gonna do it all right. Some QD cleaner, some brake cleaner if I possibly will need it, but yeah, so I guess we'll get starting on this. It's gonna be a long one, but yeah, I'll start by cutting the pump out. Still smell of fuel, and then notice over there all that powder whenever this little sock hit the, all the stuff started coming out, so definitely needed to be changed. I also noticed like some of the insulation on the bottom was coming off. The floater was a little bit more dirty, so you can see there I actually cleaned part of it with this because I was just seeing if I can use certain stuff to clean it. But yeah, so cut that out. I should be able to slide this off. We'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, it slides right out. So before I do that, I'm probably going to loosen these, take this off. That way I can do a deep scrub on this sending unit before I send it back in there. Kind of have like a little OCD thing about, I guess, kind of cleaning everything, which is why that's driving me crazy that I couldn't get it really in there and clean it. But I also didn't want to do too much of a deep clean, like with the rust, like use like the vinegar trick and stuff like that. I don't know if it would ruin any of these wires. Some of these wires might already be pretty tired out and exposed, so I don't want to do too much on that. But definitely need to try to clean it as best as I could, or as can. I'm actually gonna need a Phillips for that. I don't have a Phillips, so we'll get ourselves a Phillips. Really like the way the last video kind of turned out. Not too bad. I just needed to, I guess, angle the camera a little bit better. I angled it a little bit more this time so I can heck? Maybe get a better angle. There, it started to spin on the bracket. Now you're just being dumb with me. It's lefty loosey, but it ain't looseying. It's okay, this whole part is gonna get cut out anyways. Probably gonna cut and solder from there and there. I got plenty of room on this connector to put in for the wall bro. But yeah, so let's see. Project on the car. A lot of people ask, like, are you gonna drift it? What are you gonna do with it? Mainly drifting, but nah, I don't really want to drift it. Mainly just make it kind of like a man, it is really being hard, like a nice resto mod. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm probably just gonna cut it off, quit struggling with it. Like a decent resto mod, like a fun cruiser to take around and drive and enjoy. So I'm kind of keeping full interior. I've been replacing a lot of interior. Trying to make, I like the brown in the interior. Mostly all the 240s I see always have black. So when mine came with brown, and then basically a non-cracked dash besides a little crack that you mainly won't see, but I was like, yeah, I kind of want to stick with the brown. Come on. You know, make me loosen it all the way up. But so yeah, that's the plan right now, is just to get it all, everything, every nut and bolt nice painted, ready to go. I'm actually just going to take the dikes now. We're going to cut it. Another good thing about this harness it came with is the red goes with the red, the black goes with black. Easy said and done. That way you got your ground and your power. Yeah, that is old. Which is surprising because someone changed this out before, but I have a feeling this is gonna leak. Nice. Don't leak. Yeah, this is definitely crusty. I noticed whenever I changed out my fuel filter not too long ago too, it had a lot of what almost looked like rust. So that's why is another reason why I kind of wanted to change it out. Originally I wanted to just clean out the old one and make it nice and new and put it back, but due to a random pinhole leak that happened, and when you use JB Weld with a big ethanol based fuel, it only temporary fixes it. Eventually it'll start, I'll get in there, eventually it'll start eating through it, and then you're just back to the leak again. So it was constant leak. I was temporary fixing it, which finding this other tank was a blessing in disguise to begin with, because it had less dents, it had no rust in it, just some gunk, and it was already out, so I can completely clean it and get it fresh for when throw the RB back in it. So that's a plus. But Yeah, so let's see, next subject. When I picked up the car, it was in pretty good condition, but before that it was like a drift beater. So it has a lot, and people didn't really care about the maintenance, so it's had a lot. And just literally in the like year and a half that I've owned it, I've already done like a lot of stuff to it. Just not even like, I didn't even do like crazy cosmetic upgrades or anything like that. I've just mainly did like reliability upgrades and stuff like that, like the Quest alternator upgrade. I can, when I take it out, I can do a little video on how to do that if people want to know, like all the stuff I did, drill and angle grinding, cutting to make it fit. So that makes, because a lot of 240s usually have a lot of electrical issues, so one of the big things to do to get rid of that is to upgrade that weak 65 amp alternator and put that 125 or 115, whichever, depending on the year of the Quest, alternator, so it'll make all your electrical components run a lot better. And even a lot of people said that even your idle will get a lot better as well. So it's definitely a good upgrade. The Z32 fuel filter, get a bigger one on there. The S14 Slave down on the tranny. Let's see, the metal overflow tank. Better thermostat housing. It's like a lot of stuff. S14 seat belts instead of those old rollers. So yeah, I just mainly been doing like a whole lot of that. And then I've had a lot of friends slowly, as they come and go, have helped me and hooked me up. So I also came into the RB. I came into a lot of parts. I came into the big brake upgrade. So I kind of grown a sentimental attachment to it, I guess you could say. Like my brother and my two brothers, I consider him a brother, one of them, they're graphic designers, so they help me wrap a lot of stuff on the car, make it look nice. Some buddies that I worked with that moved away, they hooked me up with a lot of parts. Some of them were good at wiring. I'm not really good at wiring, that's not my forte. So he helped me rewire, because before the car was super slammed, like insanely slammed, and helped me rewire because they didn't do the fender tuck upgrade either, so I ended up doing that. So, excuse me. So he helped me rewire a lot of the worn away, the worn away body harness. So yeah, I've had like blessed with a lot of good friends, a lot of good car community friends, even when I was into the rotary game for a while there, which I wouldn't mind going back. It was pretty cool, but I've always had a thing for S chassis and DSMs, I don't know, so I always go back and forth to them after a while. I ended up coming back, and I've never had a hatch before. This is the first hatch I've had. I've always liked the coupes better for some reason, but I started falling in love with a hatch, so. And I really like the body style when you put over fenders on it. I like the Rocket Bunny wing and stuff like that, so got big plans for it. And like I said, I just basically wanted like a really cool cruiser that has balls. I love the RB sound, so I've always wanted an RB, so it was awesome that my friend was willing to give me his whole setup for a pretty good deal that he stripped on the R33 when he was over there in Japan for a while, and he was planning on putting it in his 240Z, and he moved back to Japan, so then he was like, well, I'll just get another one later. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah. Just really quick, so. I'm slowly piecing it together with a lot of good friends, a lot of good parts, getting a lot of actual JDM parts like I mentioned before, like the D-Max inner and outer tie rods. I want to get the arms and stuff like that. I still got like connections that can give me that. I kind of want to build it more all around of a lot of Japanese parts, even though it's not a traditional 180 or still 80. I'm kind of converting it to look similar to that style, so make it somewhat kind of true. So I mean, this thing is dirty. I was not expecting for the fuel sender to be this rusty. I mean, most of the inside of the tank looks good, but as soon as you angled it up, which I saw when I was looking at the other video, you couldn't really see, but when you angled it up, yeah, there was rust all over the walls. So, and with this other tank, like I said, it was just some gunk in there and cleaned up. For like a 25, 30-year-old tank, just basically looked brand new after that. It was just awesome. And there's a lot of rust coming. Jesus. But yeah, clean the floater too over there. I noticed one of the issues for a lot of 240s and S14s and stuff, where the floater gets caught or locked up, so I want to clean it. Maybe that might be the reason why I can only get almost close to the top, but it won't necessarily show full over full. So another subject to talk about. Let's see, I guess a little bit about me. Let's see, when I was a kid, I've always been into cars. My dad was always really big into cars, but he was more of muscle car side because the area he grew up in. And then I always liked to be different, so I ended up liking import cars, especially when Gran Turismo 1 came out, and I wanted to have the R32 GTR. Was my favorite dream car, still is. Still want to try to get it, but yeah. And then of course, like everybody else, when the first Fast and the Furious came out, fell in love with that, and that's when I fell in love with Eclipses when I saw that. So I always wanted to own one. Owned like 4 in my lifetime. Not bad cars. The 420A is a little soft. But if you get the GSX with the Evo motor, man, that thing is amazing. I still wouldn't mind to get one eventually soon. But right now I'm a little bit more into building a awesome 240. Making a nice little cruiser I could take out and go have fun. So like I was saying, keep rambling on. And then when I was like 15 or 16, I would bounce around at some shops, even like Discount Tire, any little jobs, and just learn aspects in that. My cousin had a shop. I would stop by. I would try to learn from him a little bit. So I spent a lot of time around cars, and then eventually I became aircraft mechanics, and then I went on that aspect of mechanic work, is working on aircrafts, which a lot of people wouldn't think, but aircrafts are way easier to work on than cars. A lot. Everything just is bigger, so it seems a little bit more scary. But so yeah, it's a little bit of my background. Cars, aircraft, just been a grease monkey most of my whole life, so I enjoy it as a hobby. I'm not gonna stop. After a long day, even at work, I like to come home. Just a little therapeutic thing, just come out, work on the garage, have a couple beers. Always keep something going. New projects. Sorry if I'm boring some of y'all. I'm just trying to keep talking. I don't want to just be quiet here and scrubbing away and cleaning. Trying to make it a little enjoyable. Like I said, what I mainly want for this channel is just mainly raw footage, just working. I'm not much about vlogging, clickbaiting, all this other, like, I watch a lot of YouTube, but I never wanted to make YouTube videos at first, because, like I said, I didn't want to be that person just making redundant videos over and over again. Like, there's already a lot of S-chassis stuff out there, so for me already, it's kind of, I don't know. But a lot of people wanted me to start doing this, and then I figured, you know, I'll make some videos. People want to see them, and instead of me posting like 100 million pictures, because, like I said, I'm not really a camera guy. I just like to work. To me, it's my stress reliever, is doing this stuff. So it's my escape. Come to the garage. Sucks not having really any more friends around here, though. Mostly all my friends moved away, and that is a lot. Yeah, they all moved away. I might be moving soon too, so I'm not trying to go too deep. I'm just mainly buying parts right now, because I might be switching to another side of maintenance for a while. I'm one of those people where after a while of being at the same job, like, I gotta do something new. I'm always about wanting to learn something new and keep moving on, so it'll be a good experience. I'm excited for it. But yeah, if you want to see more of the in-depth of the build, you know, go to Instagram at Project Still Daily. It'll be in the link in the description below. Like I said, I post like a lot of pictures, more in-depth stuff I talk about, because I can actually sit and think. Like, I'm not really a on-the-fly freestyle kind of guy. Like I said, I don't really talk much on camera and stuff, but try my best to put out quality work. But like I said, this wire brush seems to be working good. I'll probably hit it with some brake cleaner a little bit and scrub it off, and then we can start the whole solder process, get the wall bro in here, get this all ready. And tomorrow I'll probably start dropping the tank, get her out of there, start changing out the lines. I want to either put, if I can't get the steel braid lines that I want to run on the fuels, then I'll get some newer OEM ones. Like I said, while you're down there, you might as well change it out. Same as you would like a clutch. If you're dropping the tranny for anything or whatever it be, like, you might as well change what you can while you're down there. This thing's cleaning up nice though. God, there's a lot of rust though, but it's cleaning up nice. Kind of glad that I didn't almost want to go and just spend the money to buy another fuel sender from somebody on the list. Like, at least I figured this would be a good time, I guess, to talk a little bit more about the build, the channel, a little bit about myself, I guess. People were wondering, because I'm sure people will probably ask, like, where'd you learn this? Like, how'd you learn mechanics? I want to get into it. And honestly, you just got to get out there. You just got to get out there. You got to do it. Don't be afraid to fail. Just get out there. Try your best. Do a lot of research online. There's so many forums. Even with a lot of my experience, I still go back to the forums, try to learn. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with checking a lot of different people's YouTube videos on how they do things. That way you get aspects on good things and bad things, bad habits that they pick up. I don't know. It's coming out pretty good, but I'm not really a fan of recording the whole cleaning process. To me, it's kind of boring. It's like watching paint dry. almost literally if I was painting, which half of the time I am. But I figured it'd be a good time, I guess, to talk, show. And I guess cleaning most of this is part of the whole dissecting business anyway, so